Hi, I'm Commander Burr.
And I'm Commander Reaney.
And you're listening to the Loose Screws podcast. Good heavens, they're American.
How frightful.
Ew.
Ooh.
Hey guys, it is April 9th, 2020. This is Loose Screws. I am your host, Ty Worsham, and with me tonight is the never-ending charismatic co-pilot, Kai Zen. How's it going there, Bubba?
Wow, never ending. Are you saying I'm getting fat?
I didn't say that, but I didn't say that.
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We're flying spaceships. We got fleet carriers with lots to think that is awesome about them and a few things to think that should get fixed. And yeah, man, new stuff. It's awesome. It's exciting times.
Completely agree. And also is our magical ear sound engineer and probably crazy ass pilot, Distant Screws master, JN Tracks. You doing all right this evening, man?
Hello, yeah, we're okay. Did you mean to throw that rhyme in there?
I guess
I'm not going to let you forget it.
He's a poet and he didn't know it.
That's right.
No.
That's right. All right. So to begin with, I'm sitting outside my fleet carrier in the beta, and all I can think of right now is that I love this thing and I hate this thing. And it's a very weird dichotomy I have going on with this thing right now. There's so many things to love about it, but there's things that are kind of a miss, but we'll kind of get into that a little later on in the show. Got a couple things through Discord I want to run through real quick that's been happening. So to begin with, Commander Chig hit Prestige on CQC, which means he is very first screwhead to hit Prestige on CQC.
That boy's screwy.
That's right.
That's two cracked beers. Well, I'm assuming yours is a beer.
Oh yeah, I popped mine.
All right.
And the second thing is he actually hit champion rank, and he got way past me on that, which I was like, oh man, I wanted to be the blah, blah. No, I don't give a crap. No, congratulations, Chick. That's really cool you did that.
Congrats.
You really poured in the time to do it. So
Congrats, Chick.
Kind of wonder if he's going to end up being our very first
Quadruple elite?
Yeah, he might be.
It would be hard to overtake him by now.
Yeah. Flip side of that is that there are 16 people that are quad elite, or is it 17? Yep. So in the entire game. So yeah. I'm curious what that's going to look like. Like kind of long term kind of thing is what I'm wondering. But we'll see. Yeah. It's interesting.
It just takes so long.
Yeah, it's the CQC stuff is a lot different grind than what I thought it would be. Like I'm at rank 222, and I was trying to see where he was actually ranking out real quick, but Inara is being ridiculously slow as normal. But I still like Inara. Not complaining. But he is 106 right now. So he's actually on page 2.
Overall player rankings?
Yeah, overall player rankings in CQC. I'm like 222. He's at 106. So he's got me beat by a shit ton. So, But the other big thing I saw was going on in Discord this week is a lot of people, including our very own Kai Zen, made it to Beagle Point, and then said, "Fuck that, we're gonna go further," and made it to Salamet's Reach.
Yeah, man, we had a good time. Roy Cookson and Dubs and myself, and also oh crap, how am I blanking? How am I blanking on his name? The other guy.
I was there too.
What's that?
I mean, I was present while this stuff was happening. Why can't I think of it?
Yeah. What's his name? Hold on. I have to actually look for this because I do not want to leave him out. What's that?
Wasn't
Was it Teflon?
What just
Teflon.
happened?
Thank you. We all went to Beagle Point, and I actually had been up since like 1 a.m. for work. So I crashed. I was like, guys, I can't stay up anymore. I got to go. And Teflon was on his way, and I went to bed. And so they all took pictures that night and had a great time at Beagle Point. And then the next day, when I got on, I went with Dubs and Roy, and we all went to Salamis Reach, which is the 9th moon of the farthest planet on the farthest system. It's like that is as
the
far
farthest
as
system you
go.
can actually come back from.
Right now.
Right. Yeah.
Not soon, but yeah. So we went and had a great time. Teflon did not make that leg of the trip. He started to head back. He had a sort of a lower jump range, and he didn't have materials for Jumponium. And he looked around for a bit, but it was like, yeah, he was like, I'm going to start heading back anyway. So
Time consuming.
we went on from there
farm.
and had fun.
Wicked cool and good pictures.
Yeah, man. Those pictures, like, did you see the one where it's literally a screen cap and I'm in the SRV and the little altimeter bar is pretty much straight sideways?
Yep.
I was climbing that mountain like a goat. It was
Straight
fun.
up the side.
It was fun. Yeah, they dared me to go off of it backwards or something, so I rolled for a couple kilometers, but I made it back up. They were like, well, you gotta call your ship back. And I was like, nah, man, I'm climbing that mountain. And I did.
Man, the furthest I've ever been was like 3 or 4 jumps, or 2 or 3 jumps from Beagle, because I did it in a vet. Mm-hmm. And I very much considered heading out that way with y'all when we were at SAG-A. Mm-hmm. But, then we got the player faction, and then Fleet Carrier Beta came out, and I'm like, nah, I'm heading back to the bubble. So,
yeah, I get it.
But now I'm kind of wishing I had just stayed out there with y'all. So I'm kind of regretting my decision, just a hair.
Hey, next time, man. Next time.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna make it out there one day. You don't you worry. But big congratulations to everybody who made it out that way, because everyone has actually now been further than me. So
Yep.
all of those guys actually made it further than me, which is quite an accomplishment. Because not that it's really hard to go that far. Not trying to take anything away from y'all's accomplishment, but
Well,
for a lot of,
it's
for
not
a lot
nothing.
of people. No. For a lot of people, this was y'all's first journey outside the bubble. So that's why it's such a really big accomplishment. So I don't mean to make it sound like I'm diminishing it. So don't misunderstand me. So
Not at all.
Yeah, man. It's one of those deals where the main thing of this whole trip, it doesn't matter if you made it to SAG-A and then turn around. It doesn't matter. The guys that went to Beagle Point, the guys that went to Salamis Reach. The main thing is one big family. We all did it. We all did it our way. Some people did it quicker. Some people did it slower. Some people did it more circuitous. But we're all in it together. That's the big thing.
Absolutely. Do you want to do a distance cruise recap then, since we're on the topic?
I was about to say, you want to do that? Then we'll go through everything else.
Sure. So let me call up this stuff, and you know what? Let's do one of these. Distance cruise.
Going deep.
All right. So, yeah, a lot of people have gone a lot quicker than me, and some people still slower, I guess. But I think I'm mostly the slowpoke on this expedition. Sorry, were you going to say something?
I just want to say that you're all right. When we're all right, and you will be the guy who lives in the same city
Matthew
I live
McConaughey.
in. Thank you, Matthew
All
McConaughey.
right.
Yep. They keep getting older, and I stay the same age. No, wait, the other way around. Shit.
Yeah, that's the way he says it is gross. The way you say it is just confusing.
Right. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so we have 27 successes on the expedition right now out of the 73 current participants. And that's sounds about right to me. I think most people got ahead of the stream schedule, and I am sticking with it because I wanted to have this record on YouTube when we're done of like, here's what it's like. So that's what's going on. So Expedition still has 46 days. Is that right?
No, I don't believe so. I think it's supposed to go until
I thought it was supposed
the
to go
end
to
of the first week of May. So it should have about 29 days left.
I gave it one extra week and then I added one other week and now I'm seeing 46 days in this thing. It makes me think I did something wrong. Anyway,
you absolutely have to get there before Christmas. I know that.
Yeah, apparently. Jeez. Okay. So let's hit all the numbers quick. Jump so far 44,429 for a total distance of 3,298,039 light years.
So just for the record, wasn't it like last week that it was like 2 million and it was like, whoa, when you get a bunch of people that go to Semitis Beacon, that number goes up real fast.
Oh yeah. A bunch of people got extra loose and extra screwy and boy, oh boy, does it show. So we have scanned 247,071 celestial bodies and mapped 6,403. We've used 201,974 tons of fuel and 39,519 probes. 23 commanders have died and 5 self-destructs. I'm currently at Colonia on the way back, and that's waypoint 29. And we've got just a few more weeks to go on the actual streams. Yeah, something must be wrong with my expedition end time. It says right here, May 26.
So you said it for the end of May. Huh.
Well, I had pushed it a week after when I thought I would get back, and then someone asked if I could extend it for the sake of people who might not be up to my pace, which I discovered I was allowed to edit the end time, and so I did. But May 26th is not 46 days away, so I don't know why it says 46 days of expedition time remaining. That must be just buggy on my screen.
So,
or is it?
No, it's May. So you got to figure to go from now till May the 9th would be like 30 days, and then 31, and then 26. Yeah, math checks out on that.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's what's going on with the expedition. We've done all our fun, and some of us got extra loose and screwy.
So just to be clear, last week when we were at like 2.5 or 2 million light years, I'm like, wow, that's almost far enough that we could have gotten to the Andromeda Galaxy. From Earth to the Andromeda Galaxy is 2.537 million light years away. From Earth to the Triangulum Galaxy is 2.723 million light years away. We're blowing that. We're already on to the next galaxy and farther, man.
Wow.
Oh, damn. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, do you guys want me playing sounds through this whole show? Because I did call up the board. Well, I think that sounds like this.
Space Madness.
And Trex, the listeners definitely need to know that within, I would say, maybe at the most 15 minutes before we came on air tonight, I discovered a water world and mapped it.
Oh, dear.
Is there anything for that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is Kevin Costner down there?
Yeah, we're screwy.
Yep. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good one.
I'm going to wrangle y'all in a little bit. So, see where are we at? We're at new Discord users, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So new Discord users this week are Squidfist, Unmetered, Teslin O'Malley, which honestly, that could be the coolest name ever because I got a little Irish in me, so that's pretty cool. And then of course Commander JQ. So
right on.
Welcome everyone.
Yep.
Welcome.
For me this week, I went through and did a bunch of missions on Sunday and was able to get the Loose Screws Network faction attached to the Loose Screws podcast squadron on the PC side. And for those that don't know, we are in Ross 310, Maury Port. And right now, probably the best bet is to run missions so we can get control of that port. And then we can start turning in stuff there.
Wait, what?
In the live server, not the beta.
Yeah, in the live, not the beta. Live.
What port?
Maury, Morey, or Moray.
Every time you say that, I go, Maury. Somebody should throw a chair.
I'm still waiting for somebody to correct me and tell me I'm pronouncing it wrong. So
I say that if they do, you should tell them to go fuck themselves. It's Maury Port.
Once we
know
take
shit
over,
now.
you can decide.
you never know. Oh, look at that! Somebody shooting somebody around my station. Apparently around my.
Yeah, it happens. Every once in a while, one of the NPCs will act a little frisky and the station will go pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
Does the station have guns?
Yes.
It does. It does.
Am I jumping the gun?
A little bit. I just
right,
have I get that in the background right now as I'm reading stuff and I look up and somebody's shooting. So
It's about to be me.
I know, right? But yeah, if you want to help out the Loose Screws Network faction, come over and run some missions over in Ross 310 out of Maury Port. I am still looking for someone to lead the faction across all three platforms. So hit me up. Hit me up in game if you're interested, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I would love for somebody to be able to, for us all to be able to trigger whatever, war or whatever circumstance would allow us to take over that station so that when I get back from the expedition, I can sell my data. I'm sorry, I can't help you yet.
Yeah. Well, it's weird timing. Like we put that in, I don't know, months ago. And then when I got back, I had a message, or when I was out, I got a message from someone and said, "Hey, is this your request?" And I said, "Yes." And then a few days later, it was in the game. So thank you to that person, and you know who you are. So anyway,
It was David Braben, you can say.
It was.
It was.
So I actually have a little bit of actual Frontier news that's not related to fleet carrier stuff, and I want to kind of go through it real quick. Number one, I believe it was when did I get this email? I got this email April the 6th. So I think that was that Monday? Yeah, Monday. They released a live stream schedule to everybody, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it was kind of cool to actually see that they have some plans coming up, because I don't think we've seen a whole lot of their plans. And I feel like they've been pushing a bunch of stuff back or rescheduling stuff with the whole virus stuff. So it's good to see that they're kind of getting the wheel turning again, so to speak. So that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
So you should also keep in mind that on the same day that they did the announcement stream for fleet carriers in Elite Dangerous, they also did a massive expansion, whatever update announcement stream for Planet Zoo. They added all kinds of new animals and new interactions, and
yeah, that's like
all
the South
kinds
America
of cool
pack
stuff.
or something like that, right?
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
It is. They it turns out they were worried about Corona, but it was just because the vendors were selling beer. So it was fine.
Okay.
They've switched to Dos Equis. Everything's cool now.
This is a something that they released on their forums as well. So if you don't have the schedule, check it out. It's very cool to see that they have plans and they're working on things. I think that's very cool.
Oh yeah.
From companies that kind of been quiet for a few months, or somebody even say a year or more, it's nice to see that they're communicating and working again. So
I mean, between the two big, this update and then the big expansion for Elite Dangerous this year, the Formula One announcement that they're going with, the Planet Zoo stuff that's happening. I know there's stuff happening in the Jurassic World. There's stuff happening all over, and they have like two other IPs that are you're right, man. They're really popping. So good for them.
Second thing is that when I turned on Steam, when I got set down in the chair, turned Steam on. For those that don't know, don't automatically start Steam up. That's a different ball of wax. But anyway, the Frontier's having a Steam Publisher Weekend, and some of their games are actually 80% off. So when I looked, Planet Zoo is like $30. I'm using dollars, not tea and crumpet dollars like certain countries use.
I thought we established that the United Kingdom is on the goats and a small duck currency system.
Lol.
That's right. So Planet Zoo currently is 3 goats and 1 small duck, and the premium edition is 5 goats and a small duck. And I'm not sure what all they include, but check them out. I think the coolest thing on this list, however, is the Frontier 25th anniversary collection, which includes like 20 games from their entire collection. That's pretty much everything on Steam. It's 8 ducks and it's 8 goats and 2 ducks.
I'm just for the record, I'm boycotting Planet Zoo. I refuse to pay it because apparently Frontier expects you to keep feeding your animals after you've already fed them once, and I just am against any form of upkeep.
Wait, they eat twice?
You have to feed. Apparently, you have to feed your animals like regularly, like forever. God.
Oh man.
So the Elite Dangerous Commander Deluxe Edition is $15, and I'm actually probably going to pick another one of them up just for shits and gigs. That way I can run multi-crew and have an extra pip for fun, because you can do that.
Cheater.
Yeah. Well, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, my alt account is Scotty Pippin. No reason.
It's kind of if you don't have another account, or if you don't have the Horizon Season Pass, I know there's some people who don't. It's $8 right now, or also known as half a duck and
2 shillings.
And a quarter of a goat. Yeah. So. You
Oh,
know.
I'm sorry.
wait,
I just mentioned real money. I'm sorry.
You said
blew the whole thing up.
$8. American money. We are on the cheeseburger and bullets system.
Oh, that's a damn good point.
That's a good system.
So the Horizon Season Pass is 7 bullets and a quarter of a cheeseburger, then a quarter of a quarter pounder. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Quarter of a quarter pounder.
That's a Royale with cheese.
We'll make it real interesting. So something else. David Braben tweeted about 2 hours ago. Great to see 10 Frontier games and DLC in the top 50 Steam chart, including Elite Dangerous, Planet Coaster, Jurassic World, and Planet Zoo. Man, that's freaking cool. So what the Steam chart is that like that's basically like the top selling products right now. So basically their sales are doing really good. I can't tell you how much some of the prices are because they're in magical fairyland money. They got the funny symbol beside them. So anyway. But yeah, if you don't own anything, or if you're looking for a deal on one of their games, now it's the time to go get it. And if you have not checked out Planet Zoo or the Jurassic World, I think the Jurassic World one is really good. I have not got a chance to play Planet Zoo, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So it's a little bit different, but you know.
See, I'm not boycotting Jurassic World. Because unlike Planet Zoo, you're not expected to feed your dinosaurs. You just let them snack on tourists.
I can't disagree with that. I'm good with that. I mean, you know, you come to the park, you look. I watch Tiger King, so you know, if I'm walking around and I see, you know, if I'm in a zoo and I see 12 workers and between them they have 3 legs, I know I'm in danger. You know, I don't. Yeah, I can't tell you. So in the last week, thanks to the glorious
Parallel Worlds issue 8, which just came out like a week ago, and I've been enjoying it. I've been on a rewatch of the Netflix version of Lost in Space, and let me tell you something. Every time when I come in to start it up and like I open it, and then it's like, okay, let's get back onto Lost in Space, which is what I'm enjoying, I see commercials for that stupid Siegfried and Roy wannabe, Tiger King, whatever. Like, no, man, I have a policy in my life. Anything, whether it's a book, a movie, a show, a news bulletin, anything that starts with Florida, man, I just tap out. I'm done. I'm out.
He's from Oklahoma.
I don't know. It's close enough. Yeah, the dude had
seems
a mullet,
like Florida,
all right?
though.
That screams Florida,
right.
man, to me. I'm out.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't need to know more than that. The fact that he's an Okie just makes it worse.
Man, so like, I'll just take it real quick. So like, I watched it because a buddy of mine, Gun Skill, he said, man, if you could make yourself, if you could take meth without actually taking meth and actually print it out and then videotape it, it would be Tiger King.
If you could take meth without
taking meth, right, and then print it out and make it was something tangible, like what you're on is like something tangible.
He's a manifestation of meth.
Yes, or that whole show, and I'm right there with him.
Remember that
every
shit?
episode, I'm sitting around going, it cannot get any more crazy. Damn, that dude's pouring gasoline while smoking a cigarette in a shipping container full of gasoline. That's incredible. That's the stupid. Wow, that ate that woman's arm. That tiger ate that woman's arm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's going into the gift shop now. Oh my God, what is he saying?
Guess what? He just got promoted. He's now a Florida man. Yep. It is decided.
All right. We got to move on from Tiger King before I get too deep in Tiger. So
let's move.
All right. So Tie Spies real quick. So last week I asked you guys to show me something beautiful, and this is strictly sheer judgment. This is not an actual number. It's just sheer judgment.
Judgment.
As far as
Sorry,
the
go
winner
ahead.
is it?
Yeah.
Winner is it?
Show me something beautiful. I got you beautiful right here.
I was
Impress
afraid,
me, idiots.
I was afraid that it would get scary. Like, we'd have to we got to delete that one.
Oh,
so.
wait a second. I know who wins Tie Spy.
Who?
Rabbit.
Rabbit, yeah.
So the people who submitted this week were DJ Wiley, Teflon 12, NL Hate, Grover Kiwi, Anna Barrick, Smokey Samsung, and Richard Envy. And man, when I'm just looking at pictures in here, it was kind of tough for me to say which one I liked the most. Grover Kiwi had a really good one around a water world, an orbit around a water world. Anna Barrick's Sunrise with the ring was really cool. Smokey Samsung spikes inside the purple crystals inside of the asteroid field. But ultimately, what won me over was the nebula and the valley and that two-tone valley from DJ Wiley. That thing, I love when the planets have multiple colors like that. It's just really cool. So, yeah. But with the ice fumaroles and all that, the two-tone valley, he really won.
Nice.
Wait, there weren't any late additions that had a chance to take it?
I mean, oh, damn it. No.
Something bad is happening.
He's got a screenshot of Rabbit doing teapot. It's kind of changing gears, but you're right. Mattias, Planet Coaster is a very good game. I own that game, and it's a great game. It's actually one of the ways I discovered Frontier. So awesome. I didn't put it together. They were the same company until way later. But anyway,
awesome.
So this week on Tie Spies, so we've been out here for a solid month now. Is that right? A little over a month?
Yeah, about that.
So, by now, everyone has some discoveries that they're underneath their belt that they're real proud of. So show me the one you're most proud of. Is it an Earth-like world? Your very first star system that you mapped? For me, my very first system that I mapped ever is my very favorite discovery. And oddly enough, it has a unique thing in that one of the moons actually orbits outside of an asteroid ring and is within 100 kilometers of that asteroid ring. So if you're at the equator on that moon and you're landed and you look up, you can actually see the asteroids, and it looks super cool.
Wow.
I love that place. In fact, I'm gonna indulge myself real quick in the galaxy. Do they in the beta? Do they move over your? Oh, they sure do.
Wait, look forward again. Look forward.
I'm gonna come. All right, I'll come back to you. Is that? Oh, that's you in a Imperial.
It's my courier.
Yeah, courier. You can land on here, man.
I did. Right? I already landed and transferred all my ships. Well, all the ones I care about.
Right.
Anyway, go on. I interrupted you.
No, you're fine, bro. Where is...
While you're looking, yeah, I transferred, since we're in the beta, this is my excuse to fly like ships that can actually turn again.
Right.
Because
Nice.
I've just been in my Anaconda, so I brought my like quickest, most fun ship first, but I've transferred a bunch of other stuff, and you know,
I
if I
posted
get
my
time to
favorite discovery.
Oh, good.
We're good.
So
for
this
TIE-Spies.
is mine right here. This is Alcox XDT C16 C613. And is this a bug where you can't see the freaking systems that you've been to? I wanted to talk about this later.
Well, that's got to be a beta thing, right? Because there's a bunch of
gotta
like kind of weird little glitchy stuff going on in here. That
Yeah, no, that definitely is the case. There was a guy that put it resets your stuff, like your exploration or whatever. There was a guy that's like, yeah, man, I flew to this system to pick up my ships because I had ships there, and it said that I just discovered it. Yeah, so
with ships parked.
Well, it was very irritating for me because like, I really wanted to, like, I really wanted to. Well, I'll tell you about the fleet carrier thing later because it's an irritation. But anyway,
well, we should do fleet carriers.
yeah, we're getting there.
all right.
But anyway, so for this week on TIE Spies, show me the discovery you're most proud of. And so now to the meat nitty gritty of fleet carriers. Dun dun dun.
Bum bum ba-dum.
So the very first thing I want to talk about, and I know I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but y'all see this fucking Type 7 landing his fat ass, taking up one of my large spots.
I sure do.
On my base.
Do you want me to shoot him, boss?
Just
Deploying
hold on.
hard points.
Just hold on, because I'm pretty sure you'll be shot dead. You know what? It's the beta. Shoot that fucker.
Oh, they're
Anyway.
yelling at me. They are mad. You want me to let him up?
Let's see how fast you die.
I don't super want. Well, I guess I can rebuy it, right?
This is really good podcast material right here. Yeah, you're all right. So right now, Jane Trax got shot
got
3 times and now he
Instant
just
blown
exploded.
up by the carrier.
Yeah, the carrier looked at him funny and he was dead. So yeah, that's what happened there. But it drives me a little bit crazy that if NPCs can land on this thing, and clearly a Type 7 landing on this thing is doing some sort of trading, why am I not making money? Does that not just drive anyone else crazy that I'm not making just like pennies on that
response-
trade?
Because the
The response that
NPCs.
they've given with regard to that issue is that NPCs do not interact in any meaningful way with the fleet carriers. They added NPC ships to fly in and out or whatever, just so it didn't seem like a weird, eerie ghost town. It's for ambiance. It's just for the flavor.
Okay. Can you give me an option where I can turn it off then?
No. You take the flavor. No options.
It
Next
drives me a
question.
little crazy, man, because like
Yes, it does. Next question.
this goes to my discussion about upkeep costs because they're too expensive. It's too expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's got to be fixed, right? And this is
I mean,
Gotta be.
So here's the thing. In what is what is basically about the worst possible brilliant plan ever in the history of ever. I mean, including when Hitler said, hey, let's attack Russia in the wintertime. Ever. Frontier jacked up the prices by a massive amount from what they showed on the live stream that they announced it 5 days later when it came to beta 1. Like the prices literally don't even match the handbook, the upkeep costs.
Yeah.
It's like the ink is wet on those numbers. And they came right out and have already announced several times on everywhere that'll listen, between the forums, on the Burr live stream that happened today, on the Lave Radio that happened, when they were on with Psyche, when they were on with responding to Exegius, when they've been on everywhere, they have said like, oh yeah, no, we definitely want your feedback. And they've not even been coy about saying like, oh yeah, these numbers can definitely change. You let us know what you think and why. And at one point, Lave Radio, they even asked Luke, they were like, well, so how did you arrive at these numbers? And he kind of gulp, like you could tell he was like, oh, don't make me answer this shit. I do not want to justify this. This is not a good idea. I wasn't a part of this. I told them don't do this. All of this, he said with his eyes over the radio. What he said verbally.
I really could hear his eyes.
What he said verbally was, we fully expect to get feedback on this and we'll be making adjustments. So like, the only thing I can say on this is expect these numbers to change. Now,
agreed.
Frontier have already, if I had to guess, all right, I would guess that the original price and what they still are intending to be the price of upkeep for a fully tricked out fleet carrier, because the base price did not change. So the base price is 10 million a week upkeep. Based off of what they were showing in the announcement stream, you could extrapolate and say that it was probably going to be, around 30 mil, maybe 25, 30 mil for a fully decked out one. As it stands now, it is 147 mil a week.
Yeah.
So it comes out to a little over 7 billion credits a year in upkeep. That is ridiculous. They know it's ridiculous. They've already admitted as much. I would fully expect that we're going to see it go back down to the 25 to 30 range for a tricked out fleet carrier, which means that if you leave out a couple of non-essential services, you can get your fleet carrier to the 20 million a week upkeep mark, which is a reasonable number.
They need to at least just lose a decimal place.
So
at least
on my feedback that I put in on the forums, because they've asked everybody to put it in, and I did my part. The first thing that I stated was, you created a product called Fleet Carrier that comes standard with a player market, but does not come standard with the ability to carry your fleet. I would swap the market for the shipyard in the list of default services so it's more accurately named. That's number one. Like, a fleet carrier needs to carry your fleet because it says so on the box.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest irritations as well, that I had to buy a shipyard just to carry my fleet. I mean, what the fuck are the damn bays for?
Now, that's one that really not as many people have sort of noticed or spoken up on, although everyone that's read it has said, hey, yeah. But
it is well said, and it's simple, and it makes the point in a very elegant way. And I had never really codified that in my mind until I read that on your post before. And it was just like, oh man, that's odd.
If they had sold a product called the Spaceship Flying Market, then that would make more sense. But they didn't. They sold us fleet carriers, which means I want to carry my fleet. But then the second point that I went right into was the cost, and I really okay. That leads us into the next thing real quick, and then we'll come back. But I just want to read this out just for the record. This was posted today at 11:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by Bruce Garrido, new community manager. Brucey bonus. My man. Greeting
That's
Commander.
his name's forever now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's that? That's his name forever now. He is the Super CM. Greetings, Commanders! ! Now, when you say greetings with an exclamation point, you got some shit to say. And here's what he says. We'd like to take this chance to thank all of you who have already helped test fleet carriers in the beta. Your suggestions and feedback will be critical in ensuring they're the best possible version upon release. After the 2 days, we have received lots of feedback on various features. I wonder, have you? And been given a clear indication of which aspects are a priority. In response, we'll be making changes which will be listed in an announcement post next week. We hope you enjoy your weekend, a long one for UK-based commanders, and continue to push fleet carriers to their limits. 07. I guarantee you, I would stake my left nut on the fact that one of those changes that is going to be listed in next week's announcement is going to be that they are lowering the cost.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that they will lower it all the way to where it's going to end up, though. I think what we'll see is it go from 147 million to like 60 million. Like they're going to lower it again. They're going to do it in steps because they can't possibly lower it and then take it back up. Everyone will just set fire to, I don't know, everything.
Yeah, there's no way back.
So it's going to come down in steps. But so just, I know like that's a separate topic and we're whatever, but I just want to say that like this is for the people that are just like, setting their hair on fire, getting salt, throwing it on people, whatever it is that they're doing, like these are going to change. They've already said almost explicitly. It's like they looked at the camera and were like, we know that people have feelings on the cost. Wink. Like, This is going to change. You're going to see the very first change come next week. If you don't see the first change next week, I think someone should just throw a pie in my face.
To be clear, I am not upset about the price of the carrier. I am not upset about the price of the services, with the exception of the shipyard, because I think that's bullshit and you got to buy a shipyard to store your ships. But anyway,
on a fleet carrier.
Yeah, that's what you're buying the damn thing for. But here's my issue. And maybe this is like facetious of me. You buy a new car, you buy a new spaceship. They give you a full tank. What the fuck is this half tank horse shit?
What they're inviting you to do is engage in the new dynamic gameplay of filling up your tank.
Well, that you're sounding funny, but that is, this is a beta where they're wanting you to test stuff and giving people.
I wasn't joking.
That is for real the right answer.
If they give you a full tank, you will be less likely to, number one, buy. So what they want you to do is they want some people to go like, I'm already in a situation. Like, so let's say you had a full tank, right? Mm-hmm. You would make a jump before you can put any more in your tank because it was full already. Now that you've made a jump, you're not in the system that you were in at first, where they know they can sell you stuff. So that's what that is. What that is saying, we want you to first come to the markets and see that, hey man, this stuff is not cheap, and then go out and mine some more for yourself. And they want people to interact with both forms of that sort of gameplay, that loop of. Yeah. How you feed the carrier fuel-wise.
Well, because part of it, it's not just like teaching you how to use it. It's they need it tested, and that's the kind of the subtext of all of this. Is like we're expecting the numbers to change, and we've mentioned a couple of times there's like glitchy, weird bugs and stuff. There's little bits of bug all through this. Like all the interfaces for stations and carriers and everything were all redone, and they're full of little nitpicks and bugs and stuff that isn't working right and stuff that's really hard to use because it's a redesign. And the community wanted a beta, and they got a beta.
They got a long beta, April 20th. That's a great beta.
But it is, but we can't treat this like we're disappointed that our game sucks. Like this is a beta, and we are wringing the little bugs and stuff out of it. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
and to be perfectly clear, I like the Fleet Carrier. These are small irritations. Now,
Absolutely.
the upkeep cost, I'll be honest with you, the upkeep cost is not attainable for if they leave it where it's at, which I don't think they will. But should they leave it where it's at, I cannot afford to have a Fleet Carrier. I can't do it. I will go broke.
Without any question, I will state unequivocally, for those people that say like, oh, wow, you're like a Frontier fanboy, you're an apologist. Fleet Carriers, as they stand on day one of Beta 1, are dog shit. I would not buy one. I would not recommend anyone have one. I would not use one.
Would you say that buying one would be space madness?
So that there's
Space madness.
There you go. so that there's no question, because people are, I've all week people have been accusing me of being the Frontier fanboy. Right now, I think as it stands on day one of Beta 1, the jump sound that is so beautiful on the Fleet Carriers should literally be changed to bum 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 bum, because they're dog shit.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, truthfully and honestly and unflinchingly, I will say the product, the work product that these guys at Frontier made with Fleet Carriers is amazing. And there's about 3 or 4 things that need to be changed. Some of them a little, some of them a lot. And once those changes are made, maybe as much as 5 things, if we're lucky, like these are a great product. So would I buy one if the thing that we're going to get in June is the thing that I see on the box day 1, Beta 1? Fuck no, it's dog shit.
Yeah, there's no way.
But I also know that there's a reason why you have betas. And I also know that they are operating in a environment, let's just call it an unfriendly environment. And that as a result, they may have chosen to take certain tactics that I would not have agreed with or condoned, or if I was at the office, I would have told them, don't do this. This is a bad idea. But for whatever reason, the prices have gotten jacked up by like 1,000%. So like those prices are going to come back down. Relax, everybody.
Yeah. I really think that the price is going to come down. What do y'all think about the jump time? Like the time to actually, like the 2 hours for it to,
I don't know,
the hour to spin it up and the hour for it to jump.
Okay. So
I kind of,
I'll wait and hear everybody else first.
I kind of feel like, so I don't know if it's a tech issue as to why they put the 2 hour thing on there. I kind of feel like it's a server tech issues why the 2 hours is on there. I honestly would like to see it pulled down to 1 hour. I think 1 hour
like
is
1 hour
fine.
on either, half hour on either side.
Yeah. Now, here's my issue though. Okay. And this sounds really weird. You can only do one jump at a time. All right. I would like they kind of mentioned being able to set your course. I don't see a way, and maybe it's just a bug. I don't see a way to set a course. Like if where I'm going is 1,000 light years away, and I know it's going to take 2 full jumps to get there. Well, theoretically, I should be able to go to bed and then wake up and be in that 1,000 light years from where I'm at. That's not the case. I got to wake up in 2 hours and plot another course, and then actually go to sleep. I would like to see that to where, or either one, give me the ability to plot a course and then it go there, or 2, make it to where I have a phone app that I can, move my carrier while I'm at work or something. I'd be okay with that. But one of the 2 I feel like needs to change. Either make the jump time longer to where I can sleep for 4 hours and then move my carrier, or make it shorter to where I can just, dick around for 2 hours. Next.
Tracks?
I kind of feel like I don't think it's bad. I know this is kind of a common complaint. I really wasn't expecting this device, this vehicle, to be something that moves fast. I was expecting it more to be something you have to plan. I agree that you should be able to plot a course. Like if you're going to have the fuel to do it, you should be able to set up multiple jumps and stuff. That's all very reasonable. But I don't have a problem with hour before hour. It seems like their stated purpose for the hour delay that they say is so that people can get their ships off of it if they want to. I don't know if that's. I guess I was fine even if the explanation was just that the thing doesn't move very fast and that's just part of the game. You know, it's not going to be your fast mover across the galaxy. But I don't know. Don't have a huge problem with it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So for me, I get that some people want it to be, Exegius's thing is like, man, I want it to be a 5-minute jump time. And then like, if you want to do like a half-hour cooldown. And I get it for his use case. His intended use case is I want it to sort of be centrally located and I can get to anywhere in the bubble, with all of my stuff quick. And I get that that's what he wants. I don't really see it as, I agree with Trax from the standpoint of like, hey, look, man, this is what it is. Now, why is it an hour-long spool up and cool down? As far as the spool up, yeah, to a certain extent, it's a situation of, they don't want me to go dock at your fleet carrier, Ty, because I need to buy some stuff or unload some stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta pee, so I get up to go take a piss, and I come back, and I'm 500 light years away, and I'm like, what the fuck? They definitely also. There's technical aspects to the whole thing of that. I mean, that's why there's legit so many warnings before they jump. If you're docked on there, you get things that are flashing across your screen. You hear very loud audio cues. You hear system messages. Like there's many cues. In addition to that, there's technical issues from the standpoint of like, you're moving a station. That station ties in on the back end technically to stuff. That station requires a spot. There's only a certain amount of spots, that a fleet carrier can be in each system. Like they have to reserve sort of an instance. There's a whole process involved. So with all due respect to Exegius or anyone else who's like, I want it to go fast. This is a city. You're moving a city. When you're moving a city, you need to have some planning. So I get that is important to them and for their use case. Maybe something could be worked out from a standpoint of like, if your system is set up that like nobody can dock on it, and if your carrier is like, maybe you could preload. I don't know, maybe something, but that's a lot of extra work for what I think is a very sort of finite use case. The vast majority of the people that are going to be using it are going to be using it for coordinated trade or for exploration or for some sort of use where making an expectation that you have a plan and have planned it out ahead of time and not just, I want to go to there now is reasonable. And I don't think that it's unreasonable for Frontier to just say, lore-wise, you're moving a fucking city in space, dude. You need to have a plan. You need to have some no, it's going to take a while. So yeah, I think of, jumping, Babylon 5 or Deep Space Nine. If they're going to make some big move or maneuver, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect, some serious time and effort and whatever. Now, to Ty's point, what I said on the forums straight out, and my biggest problem with fleet carriers, my third biggest problem altogether with fleet carriers is this. I am paying at a minimum 10 million credits a week. Why? Well, because I've got this big staff and this crew. They're amazing. They take care of everything. And the fleet carrier is a 24 hours a day, completely operational platform that exists across all instances, against all play styles, against even platforms. You could do it and interact with PlayStation and Xbox and whatever. This thing, oh, well, it's amazing. That's why you have to have this whole crew. That's what you're paying $10 million a week for. Okay, cool. And so I can control it remotely? Absolutely. There's a platform right over here on your right-hand side panel, and you click it and you get to the carrier instructions, and you can tell your crew to do anything. So from Beagle Point, I can tell my crew to fly, the carrier is parked at Colonia. I could, or not at Colonia, at Ross 310. I can tell it to jump to Agartha. And then from there, I can tell it to unload services, buys it, like fire some people, add ship packs, add all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Cool. All right. That's awesome. And you're telling me that this entire crack crew that can do all of this stuff based on my remote instructions needs me to come there and land so that they can take gas out of the storage and put it into the gas tank?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally hired a crew specifically just for the department of the gas tank. And my department of the gas tank crew, they're like, no, boss, we can't, we can't move that without you being here. You got to look over it. Like, that's just stupid.
Yeah, the first fucking thing you do is fire that crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what Frontier absolutely, and this is not, I'm not going to say this lightly. I'm not going to say this politely. I'm not going to say this like, well, there's different opinions and you can do whatever. Like, no, I'm saying it flat out. Frontier, you must include with fleet carriers the ability to schedule 10, 12, 15, 20, however many jumps a commander wants to, just like we can do already with our ships that, oh, by the way, don't have a whole crew. But you must enable us to schedule as many jumps as we choose that we can pay for with fuel and the upkeep cost for the jumps. Right. And you must allow the fuel depot crew to be able to access fuel that is in the storage. Now, you could do that several ways. You could do that where you tick a box as a player saying, take any fuel needed for a jump and put it in the fuel tank. Or if you want to have like, no, you have to manage it. You have to be more, hands-on. Then make it to where I can go into my 25,000 tons of storage and I can allocate, this 10,000 tons is going to be fuel reserves. Or like what? There's 1,000 different ways. You guys are way smarter than me. Figure it out. But it is fucking retarded to say that I have a floating city in space that I pay $10 million a week on the crew and they can't handle the shit without me being there to micromanage it.
Yeah. It's completely ridiculous. And kind of along with that is that, you can't remote manage your services. Like if you want to take a service out, it'd be one thing. I get if the fleet carrier is, not in a habitable system. Okay, I'll buy that. You can't just leave people stranded. But
right, like a lore reason, like the crew has to have to deplane.
Right. So, but you're. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. But like if the fleet, if you're not in a system that's dubbed a fleet carrier management system, you can't take services out. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, if you're out of the bubble or out of if you're in an uninhabited system, I get it, but I don't get the thing with it. It seems like a real big miss in my opinion.
That one, I'll be honest with you, that one I halfway agree with you, halfway disagree with you on. I disagree to say that you can just like add or remove completely from the ship a service anywhere that's a habitable system, because the fact of the matter is these crews, like let's say that like basically they're roadie crews. So it's like, oh, this is like the crew for like Van Halen or the crew for like whatever, like roadies. They come and they set up all the stuff and they work their sort of thing. Right. Those crews in lore or in whatever, in immersion or whatever, they get hired on from people that are buying fleet carriers from the dealer. So that's where they're like, add the services. Okay, blah, blah, blah. It makes sense that you're going to need to be at a certain place to put them on the ship and all of their stuff. It's not just people. Keep in mind, if you put on a black market or if you put on a shipyard, it's not just people. It's tons and tons of equipment. It's forklifts. Right. It's the hydraulic stuff. It's all of the, it's a whole mechanic crew. Imagine all those episodes of Battlestar Galactica where you see, the
stuff,
chief and Callie and the crew all doing their shit in there. There's tons of equipment. That's lots of stuff. Right. Like you have to put, I agree. That's fine that you have to put that on and off the ship in carrier admin systems only. That I have no problem accepting. Here's what I don't like. And here's the part where I agree with you 100%.
The disable.
You gave us the ability to suspend or reactivate the crews or whatever. And the explanation for how that works is if you suspend a service, you're telling those people hang out on the ship, but we're going to close the office right now and you're on reduced pay because you're not working. And really, when you think about it, if you have an office, if you have a factory, a chunk of your money is the crew cost, but a lot more of your money is, the electricity and running the equipment and the raw materials that you use in the process of making stuff. So when you say, hey, you can suspend this stuff and tell the crew just hang out and chill out and go watch Netflix and do whatever it is you do, like that should be you should be able to do that anywhere, even in an unpopulated system, even on the other side of the galaxy in the middle of nowhere, because you're not putting anything physically, whether it's equipment or personnel, you're not putting anything on the ship or off the ship. You're just changing their work status. The fact that you cannot suspend or unsuspend a service anywhere, populated or not, is just dumb.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I don't understand why they made it that way, but you might be right. I can probably get behind the removing a service, adding a service thing, because I see what you're saying there. There is equipment.
It's not just people. Yeah, you're putting on forklifts and hydraulics and shit that's built into the ship. You need the guys. Like it's just the same way as if you take your car to the dealer and say like, hey, I want you to take out this car stereo or this car alarm and put in another one. Like there's guys that know how to take that shit out and put that shit in.
Right. And I'm right there with you on that. However, what I'll say about that is if you're in a system where you can add and remove services, man, they can move the same equipment around really fucking fast.
Yeah.
Because you can take it out and add it in really fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, there's...
Well, for gameplay purposes, they're not going to... yes, if you wanted to be full immersion, what you would do is click the button to add a service, and then you would go away for a week and come back and be like, I'm ready. But for gameplay purposes,
and then the contractor would tell you, oh, well, actually, we discovered while we were putting this in that this pipe's got to move, so you better take another vacation. This is going to be another 2, maybe 4 weeks.
But also, real quick, I don't want to leave this subject before we hit this. Tied into this whole question of suspending and unsuspending services, in addition to the wacky prices we have now for things, they showed very clearly in the announcement stream 5 day. I cannot emphasize this enough. 5 days before Beta 1 started, that when you have a service, it cost the upkeep for it was like, it costs $25 million a week. And then what if you suspend it? Oh, well, then it goes down to $2,500. It went to 10%. They showed like 2 examples of it going to 10%.
It literally said
Beta 1.
It said 10%, right on it. It wasn't even having to do the math.
Yeah, Beta 1, day 1. Oh, you suspend a service. Okay, so you only pay them 50%. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
move that back to 10%. Thank you, but nobody's falling for it. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's really dumb. So I actually have 2 small things I want to talk about. One minor. Well, let's talk about the tritium. Tritium mining. Have you guys actually tried to mine tritium yet? I have not.
No, sir.
Okay. I'm hearing reports that it takes, even in a hot spot, it takes a long time to mine tritium. That it's like the returns on the because I believe it's a service mine. The return is
time per ton.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's very low. So I don't know if that's the situation where they're trying to get it to where it's more they're wanting people more to buy it, which I believe in order to fully refuel your service is like 40 million to actually go and buy fuel for the ship.
20 million.
So
20 million
is
per
20.
So
okay,
you're saying it's surface deposits, but I
surface
definitely
and subsurface.
Well, I definitely saw a video earlier today of somebody of Down to Earth actually doing it with the lasers.
Yeah, it's surface deposits and subsurface deposits.
So it is both. Okay, good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The subsurface deposits, now you get to use those snazzy little missiles that were always completely useless. Now they're actually good because they return a decent amount of the tritium. But the thing is, keep in mind, here's the thing to keep to remember. I think that they made the cost for upkeep way, way, way overpriced with the plan of stepping it down in stages till they get to a point where they feel is a sweet spot, and will never have to move it up because everyone will lose their minds. I think that they put the cost of the percentage for suspended service way, way too high with the thought of stepping it down and making sure they never have to go up because everyone will lose their mind. I think that they made the mining of tritium and buying of tritium super, super expensive in time and in cash with the thought that they will step it down over time and never have to go up because everyone will lose their mind. Stop me if you're getting the theme here.
No, I get you. I'm with you. That makes perfect sense. I mean, and the flip side of that is, this is probably the very first iteration of their new toolkits they're going to have for the new era where they can turn the knob, so to speak, on numbers to change things. And this is probably a good way for them to be able to test things like, well, we purposely made this more expensive and then, we're going to make it cheaper later on kind of thing.
I think what they did was they wanted to put out a fleet carrier day one that was as overpriced as possible in every way that you can imagine. Upkeep cost and the just the busting of balls to refill it and the trying to figure out what to keep active and not active, knowing that suspending. Sorry, I want to be very clear because disactivating it would mean more like taking it out. Suspending services only save you 50% instead of 90%. All of this, they made it as unappealing as possible in the plan of, okay, we're going to lower it until they stop screaming. And
this is bad.
I wish
press.
they would have thought of approaching it from a different side because it's basically a several week long own goal. And this is coming at a time where Hello Games is saying, hey, you guys want free mechs? We put that out for free. And it's like, it's not a good look, man. It's not a good, I get that you wanted to sort of be conservative in how you did it, but I think if you would have trusted your guts and went with the initial numbers that you had, you would have way more happy people, way less pissed off people right now, and you would ended up at the same place where you're gonna end up anyways.
Yeah, it just feels really weird.
But I still like your product. I just don't like the way you've rolled it out.
Yeah, I'm with you. So before we talk about the big miss, I got two small things here. One, you cannot change your carrier ID like you can change your ship ID. That's horse shit, needs to be fixed. It's complete horse shit. There's no reason I can change my ship ID and not my carrier ID. I don't know why the fuck they made it that way. I don't like my carrier ID. It doesn't go with the rest of my nomenclature of my ships. I don't like it. I want it changed. It's bullshit.
I don't know, man. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't really care. Just from the aspect of like, there's a difference between saying you can get a vanity license plate, but you can't really get like a vanity zip code. Like one is sort of more like it's a city. Like I don't know, whatever. Like I get it. You want to change it. sure, why not? Let people change it. Ignoring sort of the immersion factor of like, I'm sure they're probably actually like numbered in some form of a system of some kind, but like it's probably got a code where just like in your social security number, like the first 3 digits are like your state code, and then there's, or with some other thing, and then like there's another some odd digits that like will tell you like a year range, and like if it actually has a purpose behind it, I would not be at all surprised to see that there's some kind of purpose behind this, saying like, hey man, by looking at your code, I can see that it was, you purchased it from this system at about this time, and it was in this sequence order or whatever. But like, at the same time, it's a video game. If you're like, hey, I want mine to say like, awesome. Okay, whatever.
It just doesn't fit with the rest of the game though, because we can typically change them. So it seems like sort of what's the point? It makes it seem like it's a bug.
Yeah, it makes it seem like it's a bug. It makes it seem like it's a miss. It also makes me think that, well, is that going to be something that you're going to have to pay ARX to change? Because that's going to kind of piss me off a little bit. 10 ARX to change your carrier ID. Okay, I'll pay it because I'm going to change it. But fuck you. How about that?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they'll probably end up giving it to you for free. It literally is something that never occurred to me because that's how little I care about that. But yeah, okay.
Here's something that crossed my mind though. Okay. Because I'm looking at it right here and it says, avoid entering any identifiable information or offensive language. Well, maybe because maybe the carrier ID is a little more public than the name of the carrier. Maybe they don't want you, maybe because like their offensive language filter, they want to make sure that they leave out, bad language, or they want to try to make it harder for you to change that. And, your ship ID is a little harder to see. So maybe that's why they're doing that. And it's just a thought, but still, it feels like something that they should fix.
Ty, tell me the truth. Were you going to make your fleet carrier's ID number 80085?
Maybe. Beebs.
Yeah.
No, I was not planning that, but it I don't know. I don't even know where the hell it's even out on the carrier besides just in the damn navigation panel. It just feels weird that they didn't let us do it. So
fair enough. Cool.
The other thing is when I'm flying around my station, I have to adhere to a no fire rule, and I can get a speeding ticket. Mm-hmm. I own this motherfucker. $5 billion. If I want to run into the damn thing or shoot the damn thing or fly full throttle around the damn thing, it's my ship. So why can't I do that?
Let me clarify that. I don't think that you're right there. I think that you can ram into it and whatever. It'll still shoot you. It'll blow you up, but I don't think it'll give you any tickets or anything. You're getting tickets issued by the system authorities because you're in a population system. You're getting tickets. You're getting tickets not from the carrier. You're getting tickets from the cops that are witnessing you going, hey, that asshole's flying around like a reckless person. If you were to jump that same carrier to a non-populated system, to an anarchy system, unless I'm mistaken, there would not be any system authority ships showing up. And so long as you did not conduct some act that was egregious enough that the ship would fire upon you, the ship would pretty much ignore you and say, like, I don't know, do whatever you want to do.
That's a good point. I didn't consider that. So,
you got problems with the local popos, not your ship.
That's a good point. Trax, you have any thoughts on that, man?
I have no idea. I was just flying pretty fast around your carrier and nobody said anything to me, but I guess I wasn't flying that fast.
See how it is? You see how it is? Cops never hassle the white guy.
There's a big old black Corvette on the deck and nobody's paying attention to the little Vipers zipping around.
Take time.
So
They see you rolling. They hating,
Bubba. They hating.
They want to catch you riding dirty.
Let's talk about the big thing now. And I know,
whoa, Ty, not on the air.
I know they have
a big black Corvette.
Oh, Jesus. We are off the rails, gentlemen. No universal cartographics. Number one, I had an issue with this to begin with, and y'all kind of talked me down last week. And the more I've thought about this week, I'll be real honest with you. The value I had in my fleet carrier has dropped. You take upkeep out of the equation, you take a lot of shit out of the equation. Of just the issues we've talked about tonight that are like what I consider to be minor issues that need to be fixed. The lack of universal cartographics, honestly, and I don't want it to where I have to, like, I can bank it or anything like that. Let me take my shit home. Let me turn it in. It's bullshit that you can't. It's a complete miss. And if they don't put a universal cartographics in, man, I don't know if it's worth me having a fleet carrier. I really don't. I'm having a hard time rationalizing it.
I think they basically agreed to it already.
Let me direct your attention to the statements that were made in this week's Slave Radio.
Yeah, I listened to Lave, and they kind of said, yeah, we know we're going to fix it, but they didn't say, yeah, we know we're going to fix it.
They literally said, while we cannot today make any statement on this, we definitely have heard you, and we intend to address this. In a follow-up question, they were asked, will you have universal cartographics in there by June? And they didn't even bother to say, well, we don't know we're putting it in there. They said, we can't confirm anything by June. We don't want to say anything that will later get us in trouble time frame wise. Like, they didn't even bother to say no there. They didn't even bother to say, like, well, right, if it was going to come, it would whatever. They were just like, hey, universal cartographics. Oh, yeah, while we can't announce anything today, we know that we need to put it in there. Okay, well, will you have it by June? We don't want to commit just in case we can't get it on time. Like, that to me says, yes, I'm going to do it. I don't know how long it will take.
What is the holdup on it? Like, why can we not have universal cartographics now? Like,
I don't know. It had to be an intentional omission. It's so weird. Well,
I guess what I'm asking is like, what's the tech reason for it not to exist right now? Because there's got to be a tech reason.
I disagree. And the reason why I disagree that there's a specific tech reason why it doesn't exist now is because it already exists now. There is a player-controlled megaship. It's called the Gnosis. It has universal cartographics. So anything possible that back-end-wise is like, well, I don't know about how this ties into the server architecture of you're already doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So there's no tech reason why you couldn't, at the very least, if you could say like, well, it's because, well, the Gnosis is a special setup, see, because of this and the other. Okay, cool. Then just say that every carrier, their universal cartographic office is tied directly to the Gnosis. Problem solved.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they left it out on purpose, and I
100% agree with Trex. It is not a tech question. It is a question of they left it out, and you'd have to ask them. But to me, it seems logically obvious that there is something in the act of the gameplay loop of exploration that they consider to be, you go out, you explore, you make it back safe with your stuff. That is what they consider to be the gameplay loop. And obviously, you go out, you explore, the data gets, you stop at some spot and the data gets shipped back. That was a step too far for someone somewhere in their decision-making process. And I would only like to point out to them that you already did it with the Gnosis. So, like, let it go.
Yeah.
It seems like they're going to, I agree. Well, whatever. I was about to say I agree with what I said last time on the show.
I agree with me.
I agree with me from before. I think there's a middle ground if they wanted it. I think the public is just saying, give it to us, and it's going to be hard to not give in to that, I think, at this point.
I would accept the middle ground, and it would be just fine for me, but that middle ground would do fuck all for people like the DSSA, where their plan is we're going to park these ships at different parts in the galaxy, and these ships are going to pay for themselves by people showing up and selling their data. It's going to be, big. Right. It's going to, how like when you go on an interstate trip and you're going along on I-95 and you see those big service stations, every 20 minutes or half an hour, you'll see one of those big ass service stations. And it's like, you pull in there, you're on the highway. So it's like, it's exactly like that in the sense of when you're on a interstate highway or whatever, it's like, you don't really have, especially if you're on a toll road, you're on the turnpike, you don't have those sort of like, whoa, I can stop anywhere and shop anywhere. They know they've got you. You're a captive audience. When you pull to that rest stop because you really got to pee, you go and buy a $4 overpriced hot dog or whatever, because where else are you going to go? And that's the exact thought behind the DSSA with their stations of like, we're going to put our stations out there. We're going to charge a, 30% or 40% or even 50% tariff on your cartographic data. And where else you're going to go? Of course you're going to do it, because the fact of the matter is most explorers don't really give a shit about the money. They just want to get their name on stuff first, and they're not going to sort of risk the, I lost out on it because I waited until I went back to Shinrarta and sold there. They're going to be like, no, I want to get my name on this star, and I want to get my name on this thing and this thing and this thing. So the DSSA is planning on those ships being paid for by that Universal Cartographics. The data core would do nothing to help them for that use case. And yes, the prices are going to get lowered a lot, so they will be able to just do it by mining anyways, but it would just kind of be sad if they had to, man. Like, let them earn money for their carrier by doing their chosen profession. That would be such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think that it's. I mean, here's the thing: they have things in this fleet carrier for every style of gameplay except for exploration,
and they claim that they had it for exploration too, way back.
So
technically, still, I hate to be that guy, but technically, it still has a use for exploration, just to repair, refuel, change ships, do stuff
it's
it
weak
has
for exploration. It has a use. I'll give you that.
It's not going to
I
point
agree
of
with
view,
you.
you're
It's not 100%. But yeah, it has a use. It's not a very satisfying one. It's like, oh man, you got so close. You took me to a concert and I got all excited, and then I went inside and it was those Umbop kids, and I was like, why did you do this? It's so close.
Yeah. Now, I will also say this. I'm in the process of flying really close to it right now. Look at all the different textures and stuff. These things are detailed as hell. They look beautiful. I mean, really beautiful.
Well, if we're on the looks section of the evening, let's also just point out for anyone that was astute and paying attention, if you would have traveled to all of the different sales points in the beta, and you saw the people where it's like, oh yeah, I went over here and I bought this carrier.
Yeah.
If you go to the dry docks and look, you see 5 or 6 different skins that are vastly different, and everybody's paying attention is going to recognize, hey, these are the ones they showed us before when we were going to have the special loadout for carriers. You have to be really dumb to not know that the ARC store is going to be selling those ships. It's literally advertising for their real life money thing, saying, hey, this is what you're going to be able to get. You want yours to look like the fat TIE fighter, or you want yours to look like that hammerhead shark thing, or you want yours to look like that other thing? Like, they're showing you what you're going to be able to get with ARCs, guaranteed come June. That's a money back guarantee from me. If it's not right, Rabbit will give you some money.
ARCs sync confirmed.
So, sidebar here is that if they have the hammerhead shark thing, I'll be buying that because that thing looks gorgeous. So,
Yeah, I like the ring. I like the ring one. That one.
Yeah.
The 2010 one looks super cool to me. That's the one that I want. Either that
cool.
or I want one that looks like a Vorlon ship.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it looks beautiful, but I want my hammerhead shark. I like sharks, so I like sharks a lot.
I don't remember thinking any of them looked like a TIE fighter, but I'm going to have to go back and review the tape and figure it out. It might be
looks
that
like
one might be for me.
So the body, the central trunk of the body looks like a fat TIE fighter, and then but it doesn't have the like X-Wing, not TIE fighter, that's what I meant, X-Wing fighter.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm on.
Yeah, it looks like a fat, it looks like, remember how Val Kilmer looked in Top Gun as opposed to Val Kilmer like anytime after Top Gun, where it's like, whoa, you got fat fast. That's what that looks like to me. It looks like a fat X-Wing fighter body.
Am I the only one that saw Willow? I love that movie.
Willow was awesome, and Willow was also before Top Gun.
No shit.
Yeah, shit.
Huh. Oh, I bet you it's because I saw him backwards. That's why I'm thinking about that.
BTG.
BTG.
Yeah. Before Top Gun.
Oh. God.
I was literally trying to work it out. Like, I know ATM. What is BTG?
Oh, all right. So, anyway, I think that's about all we got. Y'all have anything else y'all want to chitty chat about? Yeah.
So, let's see.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but
there's a bunch of stuff. So we've said the stuff that sucks and that like, hey, come on, fix this. Did you guys see Obsidian Ant put out his thoughts on fleet carriers? And I shit you not, he was like, these prices are ridiculous. The upkeep costs are way too high. Look, even for this, okay, for sure, I'm going to buy the secured storage because I want access to all of that warehouse space. But there's no way that like the price should be that high. And I had to like, I sent him a message and I was like, hey, bro. Yeah, secure storage is their really dumb idea for how to say black market. It's not your cargo hold. He thought it was the cargo hold. And he's not a dumb guy. If a smart guy who is very, very savvy and has been playing your game for forever sees your term secure cargo hold or secure storage, secure warehouse, that's it, secure warehouse. Like, no one's calling it that. Everyone's calling it a black market. Change the name because that's embarrassing.
One interruption.
Sure.
Ty is currently blasting the hell out of me right outside his fleet carrier with his fighter, and he's getting no attention from police or the carrier. So apparently he is fully allowed to shoot whomever he wants to.
Yeah, I think you're going to get some cops come by.
I'm getting fines.
All right. See?
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting fines. I'm up to.
But the carrier's not firing on you.
No. I'm up to 700 credits right now. So.
Damn, son.
I wanted to see what happens if I murder you.
You will get sent to jail.
You should probably get in your vet for that. I think my shields can out recharge your guns.
Yeah,
and your fighter.
I'm finding that out really quick.
My vulture is a shield tank for no reason.
Yeah.
So we went over some of the stuff that we didn't like. Here's some interesting things. These are just not like them, not like them. These are just interesting. Number one, did you notice that when you land and you have that crew lounge, you actually can get crew members like SLF pilots or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like I asked them specifically during the stream and they were like, no. I was like, oh, but except for yes. And I was like, that's really weird because it has pictures of the little SLFs right on the button. So why would that not be a thing? But that is a thing. Number two, the player market, the player controlled market, you can buy and sell items for as low. There are limiters, but as low as 5% of the galactic average or as high as 1,000% of the galactic average, which means if you were to take 100 items that are like low temperature diamonds, 100 items where the galactic average is in the million credit range, you could very, very easily transfer credits. So you could definitely do what I said of like, hey, I'm going to pay for a friend to, you know, or I'm going to pay for a mercenary to do this, or I'm going to pay for that, or I'm going to, you know, pay up a bet of like, hey, I'll race your SRV first one up to the top of the mountain, gets 500 million credits. Like you can easily do that. They've stated already they're definitely going to be watching for RMT, that is not something that they want added to the game. So they're going to be keeping an eye on it. So, the fact that with the shipyard, it costs you nothing to have 40 of your own ships and 10 of each guest ships on there. That's not charged against your carrying capacity. That's factored into the shipyard. And you could have a lot. Like you could literally have 100 friends, each with 10 ships, and then you're 40. You're talking about 1,040 ships, and it's not even touching your capacity. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's very,
humongous.
Very, 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 very nice. The fact that, at least unless it's fully loaded, what I've seen demonstrated with multiple different ships of varying masses is that Trax was sort of right. It's not 1 ton of tritium for 1 light year jump. Like it's really sort of closer to, with a full tank with 1,000 tons of tritium. If you have a sort of an average or not like completely packed ship, I've seen it where the guy, he could make 3 jumps. So he could basically, get 1,500 light years out of 1,000 tons of tritium, which that's awesome.
What I've seen more specifically about the max is like if your carrier is absolutely fully loaded, it will be 1-to-1, 1 ton per 1 light
That's what
year.
I thought. That's what I was speculating.
You at the minimum, if you have a full tank, you can do 2 500 light year jumps. So you can make the return trip even if you're fully loaded. And if you're not fully loaded, you can go further.
Which that's awesome. That's a good thing. That's a plus. They literally said that even if you're in open and someone else is in solo and someone else is in private group and then someone else is in open on Xbox and someone else is in solo in Xbox and someone else is in private group in PS4, all of these different things can all be accommodated at the same time on your fleet carrier. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much stuff here that is cool. There's so much stuff to love, that it's like, okay, you just got to fiddle with these dials and add a couple things and move a couple things around. Get rid of that. You put a shipyard standard on every ship because it's a carrier. Whatever. A couple things. Let's see. I'm racking my brain now. I'm just going through the stuff that made me go like, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, cool.
I'll vamp for you for a second while you're thinking. During that conversation, I decided to start ramming TIE's fighter, and I eventually killed it, at which point the station opened fire and insta-killed me. So I got no attention because I didn't fire my guns until I actually blew up the fighter by ramming it. So, oh well. The fighter's the carrier is extremely lethal, just like a station.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was just saying, like, there's a lot of interesting things, and they've gotten a whole lot of feedback.
To your point, like this is the first time, aside from the BGS, that we've been able to interact with players of the console, like there's only one of consoles. This is the first time they've been able to interact with us. We're going to be able to have people land on the Loose Screws carrier, or my carrier, that's going to be parked in Ross 310, next to the Hazres ports here. And it's, we're going to be able to do cool things like that.
Yeah, you don't have to say like, hey man, I want to be a part of the mining operation. Oh, but your carrier's going to be in PC mode and I'm in PlayStation, so I can't take part. Like, no, yeah, you can go.
Right. I mean, we can have meetups. So, hey, we're gonna meet at TIE's carrier at this system, and we're gonna have meetups here. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. We're gonna be streaming. We'll have fun. There are things that we can do with the carrier that will allow us that we've never been able to do before as a group, and I'm really excited about that. And not to mention, you talked about it, but I'm going to bring it up again, is we have player-to-player trading. This is them dipping their toe into a player-driven economy. That's what we're talking about here. And I am so excited about this. I think this is the coolest damn thing. And, we didn't really go into it a lot in the last episode because it seemed like everybody was talking about that. And I just wanted to talk about other stuff. And, man, they really hit a home run with this. I really feel like the things that we're complaining about tonight are small things that will get fixed. Mm-hmm. But, if I'm going to be completely honest right now, if they're like, let's just do this. The way they are right now, is anybody buying one? Like if it was live in game the way it is anybody buying one?
Under the system they have now, I would hard pass.
Yeah. For me too. For me as well.
Absolutely.
And the fact of the matter is that I have billions of credits. I have 7 billion credits. I can afford everything as I want to on them and still survive. I'll be broke inside of a year. Inside of 3 months, I'll be broke because I don't have the play time to be able to keep up with the amount of money that they want me to have to collect.
Right.
So while I'm saying hard pass, like I would not buy them as they stand today, this is how sure I am that everything is going to get fixed. If you were to say, hey, Kai, will you buy it right now? Like literally, because we're only going to have enough for the first, however many people. So you got to order it now, sight unseen, knowing that there's going to be adjustments between now and June. Would you buy it? I'll say absolutely yes, because I know they're going to fix it.
Moneybags Kai thinks it's coming in the next few months. The fixes.
Well, so let me also say this: like, if they were like, all right, so these things are only available for 2 weeks after we release them. After that, you can't buy them anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm buying one. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely buying one. I may not do anything with it. It'll be parked in a system, and you'll only have the basic shit on it until because I'm still confident that my irritations will be fixed.
I am 100% confident that 90% of the things that I want will be adjusted in one way or another.
Yeah, probably a better way. I would not say everything's going to be fixed because, there's a good chance we don't get stuff like be able to, renumber or the ship ID, the carrier ID won't be able to be changed. There's probably some things that will not be fixed.
So let me ask you, go down the list of all the things and how important they are to you. So here's mine. Ready?
Okay.
Number 1, fix the upkeep cost. Number 2,
my number 1 as well.
Number 2, cartographics. Number 3, be able to schedule jumps and have that fuel handled, like be able to, for real, have a big boy ship that can do shit. Agreed. And after that would be
putting your own ships, your own fleet on your ship. Your own. Yeah,
I'm going to put that a little, I might put that lower personally, just because from after that would be for me to be able to suspend and unsuspend the services anywhere. After that would be swap the shipyard for the market. And here's why. Because I think I want to have a market. So it doesn't really, just for my selfish purposes, it's not as important to me because I'm going to have them both anyways. So whatever. But that would be in that order, those 5. And as far as like renumbering the ship, no fucks given for me. Just me personally. No, I'm not belittling anyone who cares. I'm just, I don't have time for that. So those are my 5 in that order. What about for you?
I'm going to agree with you about everything except for like the first one's definitely the upkeep because it is an unattainable money hole unless they fix it.
And to be clear, the upkeep also includes lower that fucking suspend percentage back down to the 10%.
Right.
I want to cheat and add that in there.
Right. Well, I think they kind of go hand in hand, to be honest with you.
I agree.
The lack of universal cartographics, like if the upkeep was okay, I would still get one. Not having universal cartographics, it's a miss for me. Like if both of them, it's a miss. But not having, like if they fix upkeep and they still don't have universal cartographics, I'm still getting one. But yeah, The next one is probably going to be the ship ID thing. No. The next one. The next one is probably honestly going to be the what the hell was it called? Oh, I'm brain farting right now. Help me. What was the third thing you said? The third thing you said, Kai. The third thing.
The third thing for me was the able to like do the jumps and stuff the way they're supposed to.
The plotting a course,
course and remote fuel management.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
Or-
no.
or-
Third for me was the suspend, unsuspend anywhere, and fourth was the plotting and the fuel management.
Well, the course plotting thing is big for me because like I really like the idea of being able to, go to bed, plot a course, go to bed, wake up 1,000 light years away, or however far it is.
Yeah.
If I have the fuel, I should be able to go that far.
Well, so here's why I put it lower.
I'm okay with the hours and hours of travel time. That doesn't affect me at all. I'm good with that. You can even extend that, and I'm still good with that.
Here's why I put it lower. I put it lower because that is an annoyance as opposed to the other things being an actual, like if you don't fix the upkeep costs, I'm not going to buy it. If you don't fix cartographics, I'm still going to buy it, but I'm going to be really resentful.
Agreed.
If you don't fix the ability for me to suspend, unsuspend services, there's going to be stuff that I just will not buy that I would have bought otherwise. Then the next thing is the being able to move it in a non-stupid fashion that I really want. I'll be annoyed if I don't get it, but it's not going to, like if I have to, I have to, and it'll suck. But your idea, I said the idea of having a phone app on Down to Earth Astronomy stream a couple days ago. I said like, yeah, it'd be cool if you could schedule it with a phone app to like jump or whatever. But if you give us the be able to schedule it right, you don't even have to do the phone app because if we can schedule it right, you could literally just say, okay, go from here to Colonia. And okay, that'll take 3.2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, well then get on it.
Get on it. You should. Sorry, wait. Somebody's in the middle of a list.
No,
Ty just finished his. You're up tracks.
No, you're
Oh
on track.
gosh, I don't know if I'm going to have one like that. I think for one thing, the thing that you were just talking about, I don't know if I'm going to even put these in order. The thing you're just talking about, like scheduling more than one jump, that seems simple. I totally expected that to be there. It makes no sense that it's not. But more egregious is just not being able to move fuel from storage into the fuel tank. That's bonkers. Like you explained at length earlier. That's just so stupid. You should definitely be able to, somehow find yourself in the possession of 25,000 tons of tritium and just schedule yourself across the galaxy, and just move the fuel into the fuel tank when you need it. Okay, good job, crew. That's why I'm paying you $10 million or credits a week. That's bonkers. I don't know if I think they really should have universal cartographics, but I think they should definitely have some way of interacting with it. They can't just leave it out. Whether they simply have it like any station or not. And I think they should definitely have flipped it around. The commodities market should have been the add-on, and the fleet carrier needs to be able to carry a fleet. That should be a basic service that should be included in 10 million per week. I think the fleet the shipyard service I think the buy for that service should be 5 billion credits, and you should get a free fleet carrier with it. That's what I think. And I'm totally shocked that that's not the case. I don't know why I didn't notice it before when we were going over the announcement. Until I read your forum post, Kai, I was like, oh my God, how did I not realize that that's what they did? It's kind of weird. So, and I guess my last thing is Ty's fleet carrier needs to install restock for ammo and stuff, because right now it doesn't have it. And I've been playing in the Hazres for a couple of minutes, and now I need bullets. Oh, no, I didn't fire any bullets at Ty. I was firing bullets at pirates. I just rammed Ty to death.
Okay. All right. So,
anyway.
yeah, man, the post that I made on on fleet carriers. And keep in mind, this is on a thread that's 30 some odd pages deep, 35 pages deep. So like it's scrolling past, and a lot of people are, like it's very, very easy for that. It's not like the other thread I made where it had its own little world and people could go and look at it and whatever. This is just a thing that was posted in the middle of a long line of things that were posted. And yet, like 20 some odd people have already been like clicked on it and said like yes to this. And multiple people have copied it and just put, do this, please. And I got a very nice message from Stephen Benedetti in Discord saying like, hey, I read your thread. I really, really liked it. I think these are great ideas. I think you're going to be very happy. Kind of paraphrasing, but like,
you're right.
Reason to be happy, reason to feel good.
Yeah. So we could all come out of this with a renewed sense of optimism about what a beta is. Like a beta can come out and be totally bonkers and falling apart at the seams and still yield a good product at the end of it. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's I think so. This is a very, very big toy. This is a massive scale thing. You don't want to do a thing this big badly. So for them to start it on the, high on every pain point possible and then step it down, while I don't agree with the decision to do that, I can definitely understand that decision. And I think when they're done stepping it down, we're going to end up with, will they flip around the fleet carrier with the marketplace? I think we might see that this week. Will they come down on the upkeep costs? I think we will definitely see that this week, but not enough. I think people are still going to be like, see, you idiot, they moved it down, but it's not low enough. Yeah, there's going to be more steps. Relax, everybody. But like, I think I think next week, I know what our discussion is going to be about, Ty and Trax. It's definitely going to be about, about what has changed, and it will still be ongoing. That is going to be the first round of change. I predict that we're going to have at least one, if not two more rounds of change. Well, 3 more rounds of change, because we'll have one more round of change between end of beta and then start of beta 2 in May. And then I think we will have another change maybe a week into beta 2, and then another change at the very end, like, post beta 2, between beta 2 and June release. I think that's what we're going to see. I just really want to, real quick before I forget, because I know we're going to wrap up very, very soon, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, the Drew Wagar lore tour has already begun and was amazing. The first episode was so good. The second episode was literally happening just a couple hours ago, and we didn't get to see it because we were prepping for this, and I was recording Elite Week this week with special guest Down to Earth Astronomy, and we had a nice conversation. Oddly enough, we talked about fleet carriers and the beta, which that's what everyone is talking about.
Imagine that.
No, you're beating me to it, asshole. I was going to mention it.
I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. That didn't happen. I was doing I was hanging out. I was shooting dice. I was having a tea party with my imaginary friends earlier, and so whatever. But I do want to highlight the fact I feel bad for Drew, because he's like, I'm doing this lore tour, and they're like, that's cool. We're going to announce the only thing that anyone's talking about this week. But the Drew Wagar lore tour is live. You can go check it out on YouTube. You can catch the videos. If you have not, you owe it to yourself to check it out. The second thing I'm going to say is I posted a video that I think everybody that's interested in this should definitely check out in the video channel just today. For those of you who are tired of like, okay, fleet carriers, I get it already, fleet carriers. Go take a look at Anton Petrov put out a video just today. China's secretive mission to Mars may launch July 2020. There are 3 missions to Mars. So basically, because of a peculiarity in the orbits between Earth and Mars, it lines up every 26 months. That's the time. Like when we go to Mars, we have to go in a window that happens. There's like a 2 to 3 week window that happens every 26 months because we revolve around the sun every year. And Mars revolves around the sun every 1.9 years. And as a result, every 26 months, it lines up that you can launch something and that it will, with the escape velocity, have the right trajectory to the most efficiently approach to Mars, which gives it the highest chance of success. This year, it will be happening in July of 2020, and then it won't happen again until like 2022. But when it happens this year, we have a mission going to Mars to put another rover down. I think the second one is the EU has a mission to Mars. I'm sorry. The second one this one's interesting. The second one is being sent up on a Japanese rocket, and it's being put up by the United Arab Emirates. And the third one is a super, super secretive one that they have like not said shit about, but like, we know they're doing it. China has got one that I think is supposed to be going to the what is it? The something Mariner Valley, where it's a place where we've been in that general area a while back. We haven't been there though in some time, and they have these new snazzy tools on their little rover, and they're looking to try to find the first conclusive proof of life on Mars. So yeah, man, that's looking interesting. So you should check out that video for if you're a space nut like me, and if you're interested in Mars like me and all of that. Check out that video. That's something cool. And the third and final thing that I have for the community, and this is really, it's been small from the community. Oh, check out the Burr Pits Breakfast Club from this morning. They had on multiple community managers, and they did an amazing stream with lots of good questions, lots of good feedback. Everybody knows I love Burr. I love Rini. I love the Burr Pit. All of the people over there are awesome. And they just did a bang up job this morning of that stream. But the last thing is, and this is for real, the last thing this time, the virtual ECM is happening on the 11th. So it's happening like literally, this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday and Monday. It's a whole big thing. And Saturday night, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's either Saturday night or Sunday night. Join me. I'm going to be doing it. I think it's Saturday night. Yeah, it is. It's Saturday night. The Buckyball Racers Club is putting on an event as part of virtual ECM where they're going to do some kind of like race event. I think there's going to be, Ty, you should come with me if you can Saturday, or Trax, one of the two of you, or all three of us if we can do it. Let's go. Let's sign up and we'll race against each other. We're going to do like a relay race where it's going to be the three of us teamed up with three actual good racers. So it'll be like me and Alec Turner, Ty, and what's his name? Terradizic, and like Jay and Trax and Shay. So it'll be like three good racers and then the three of us, and we'll do some relay thing. We'll have fun. But the whole virtual ECM thing is going to be amazing. It's going to have included in it the whole auction. They're going to have that mug from Antarctica. I'm going to bid on that mug, and if I win that mug from Antarctica, I'm going to tell them.
Oh, the silent auction thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I win, I'm going to tell them, keep the mug, send me a different one. Just send me a regular one, but keep it for you guys for, for all the work that you did for the year or whatever. I think it would be nice if that mug ended up with Flossie or ended up with Venteon or ended up with Psycho Cow, one of the crew that's there, all week, every week putting out stuff for their community. Those guys, God love those guys. And this was their big yearly event. And the coronavirus shat all over them. And they did not go home and cry about it. They got up, they dusted themselves off. They turned a loss into a positive. They're expanding it. They're making it bigger than it ever was. All day. It's not just Elite Dangerous. They have created a Discord, and I'm in their Discord, the virtual ECM Discord, and they're going to have Elite Racing at Cortez, Sea of Thieves crossplay. They're going to have a game of Pulsar, The Lost Colony going. There's party games. There's Red Dead Redemption. There's Meeting It, Oculus and Second Life, Call of Duty Warzone, Star Trek Bridge Crew, EDRPG, Spank the Hanky. I don't even want to know what that is. Rocket League, PS4 Shenanigans, Stream Sort. Like, they're going to have stuff going all weekend, and it's going to be capped off with a live episode of Hutton Orbital Radio, and it's such good stuff from such good people. Go check that out this week, and for sure, come with me on Saturday and race with Alec Turner and the Buckyball Racers. And you know what? I'm fairly sure, I could be wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say, Ty, you probably suck at driving an SRV, and Trax,
I definitely suck at driving.
You probably suck at driving an SRV, and I know I suck at driving an SRV.
I'm not going to hold up next to those clowns.
Yeah. So, and I know for sure, I guarantee you, based on the fact the way you said that, I guarantee you I'm worse than you. So let's come and be silly and embarrass ourselves and have fun with them.
It would be fun. I'm not sure if I can, but I will put in a good effort.
Yeah, you got stuff. Yeah.
Always
your
stuff.
Saturday night is like your big family night thing, and yeah, man. All right. Well, hey, whatever. But
we'll see. We'll see what I can
for
pull
those
off.
of you out there who are stuck at home and looking for something to do, it's a neat thing. So you should go do that. And I did mention, but just last to close it out. After this episode will be Elite Week, and Elite Week is a long and directed conversation, all things fleet carriers with Down to Earth Astronomy. So I hope you enjoy it. He is a cool guy and has cool ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Kai was able to get that interview at the last minute, and big kudos to Kai for doing that, man. I was unavailable. Trax was unavailable, but it was really awesome for him to nail that down and have a conversation with him about fleet carrier. So kudos to you, man. Thank you very much for pulling that off. So
what I would like to do, if at all possible, is after these notes come out or whatever, maybe we can schedule some time or whatever, and do a roundtable, do a whatever, like have him on, we can pre-record whatever and put that out as the regular episode next week of there's nothing to say that we couldn't. I think while we have a great conversation on fleet carriers with the changes that come up, I think that all of us should have on an Exegius or a Down to Earth or a Burr or somebody and really go over the stuff. That could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'd be very down for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would be a wild time. Probably go way long.
Yeah, man.
We're trying to kill Trax around my fleet carrier.
He has been trying to murder me for at least 10 minutes.
Violence.
Yeah, you've been using my fleet carrier for cover, so.
I'm not going to fire my guns. I know better. The first time, by the way, I had a disconnection a few minutes ago. That was an error. That was a MOV adder. That was not me trying to combat log you.
Wow.
And I jumped right back into the fray. So, I'm telling the truth.
So I went ahead and asked, do we have any questions or comments from the chat room? Because we are doing this episode live. And I'm probably mispronouncing people's names, but Mattias says, any places you guys want to go now that you have a 500 light year jump range?
Yeah.
I mean, the answer is the Anaconda Graveyard, right?
That's the very first one I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Oh,
And I guarantee you, there's people who's going to race there. I'm not going to do that, but
I got a better idea.
yeah.
So I'm in Philadelphia, and if I had a 500 light year jump range, I would go to County Line in San Antonio and get myself a chicken fried steak.
All right. That's
The answer
specific. But
the
okay.
answer is, come on, Ty. I'm embarrassed for you. The answer is, if you have a 500 light year jump range, where do you go? Texas.
That's not. That's right. We got guns, bullets, and cheeseburgers.
That's as good as money, people. Apparently.
Look. It's not a goat or a duck, but it'll fucking work.
Well, here's the deal. If you got guns and bullets, you can obtain anything else you need, really.
That's one way to think about it.
So anyway, also Versite says, "I love you guys." So we love you too, Versite. So
Much
anyway,
love.
I love you more.
he probably does.
I love
do.
you somewhere in the middle.
All right, I think we're gonna land this plane because that's about all I got. So
I'm
you
trying to
guys have
figure
anything
out
else?
where anatomically somewhere in the middle is. Never mind.
Oops.
So right after, not after this on the stream, but after the podcast, you guys will be able to hear Elite Week and Kai's interview with, or not interview, his chat with Down to Earth about fleet carriers. I haven't heard it yet. I'm going to listen to it here in a little bit. I can't wait to hear it. I'm really, really proud of Kai for getting that together. And, to be honest with you, there was a miscommunication between me and him, me and Kai at first, and I was a little kind of a jerk about it. So I do apologize about that. I'm a grown ass man. I'll admit when I'm wrong. So I am wrong. Man, kudos to you for getting that shit straight, man. So
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
anyway, that's all I got. Unless y'all have something else. And apparently my lasers are still firing at tracks. So anyway.
Oops.
I would like to remind Trax specifically, do not fly in beta without a rebuy. And I
Yeah.
can't think of something to rhyme with beta.
I'm shooting this poor little orca right here. Help me kill this orca. Come on.
What? Okay, hold
this
on.
orca.
What?
It's almost dead. It's almost dead. I'm going to do it. It's not going to make it. It's not going to do it. Give me a murder charge. Give me a murder charge. I murdered him. Will my fleet carrier kill me now?
I don't think that fleet carrier is ever going to kill you.
It shouldn't. They should be sitting there going, "Oh, damn, he just killed somebody. We still working for him?" That's like Tony Montana.
Depends if you set yourself to be
You
mercenary,
know what?
right?
You know what I think we need to end it with tonight,
What's that?
Ty? I think we need to end it with your original ending. The ending the first thing that you picked, because it seems to fit exactly what we're doing this week with beta and all this silliness.
Oh, I had another idea, but maybe I'll just tag it on the end.
Fuck, what was my ending?
Embrace the chaos.
Oh, yeah, embrace the chaos. Yeah, embrace the chaos. So
Embrace the chaos, and
According
then
to scientists, Uranus is full of methane gas, and that's stinky. Ew.
I think she did it better than Colin Ford. That's just me. That's just my impression.
He didn't realize he was competing with anybody, though.
I think you're right, though, Colin. This is where we end it.
Oh, I forgot about that one too.
yeah, I'm done. y'all are getting it all. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Ciao.
I escaped into the hull of the carrier. I live.
You embraced the chaos.
I did. I went right inside of it.
Wow.
All right. Good night.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
Night, y'all.